I think this whole business innovation and sustainability program is actually answering for the modern problems of the society, like climate change and sustainable innovations and circular economies and recycling, and you name it. There are so many things happening at the modern society that we need definitely education on that one.
And I kind of found it very cool with the design of the program. The way it sounds to me is, for instance, it's 5 years, essentially, and you're kind of like focusing on the ability to give students this opportunity to do as much Finnish as humanly possible. It really feels like you're doing your best to prepare the international students who end up applying to this program to integrate well, not just into the Finnish business society, but into the society in general. Terve ja tervetuloa. Welcome to the JYU for You podcast. My name is Irfan and I'm your host with the most glasses. Today we're joined by Juha Kansikas from JSBE, Jyväskylä's business school, and we're going to talk about something very special. You know that JYU has had international master's degree programs for quite some time now, but now we're actually starting off with a bachelor's degree program which is completely conducted in English. The program in question is the bachelor's degree program in business innovation and sustainability, which is going to have its inaugural class beginning in September 2025. How this program came to be, what are the logistical details related to this program, and how you can actually apply to this program in January 2025 is something we're going to talk about today. We hope you're going to enjoy. Cheers! No niin. Oletko valmis?
Yes, I'm ready.
Okay. Well, Juha, thank you very much for being with us today. First of all, I gotta say, I appreciate it whenever I have a business person around because I know you guys are always like super duper efficient and always in a rush. Kind of a curious question. What were you up to before coming to the podcast today?
I was doing work actually, so I was busy before this podcast. And hey, thanks for inviting me for this podcast. So it's really nice to be here.
Hey, it's absolutely a pleasure to have you here. So you said you were doing work. Were you teaching or?
I was mainly doing research at the moment. So I noticed that I have this month 3 revisions that I have to write. So I'm working with them at the moment. But of course, they will be every day is a bit different, and that's what I like in this job especially. So sometimes you teach, sometimes you're in contact with the students, sometimes you supervise the thesis, sometimes you write some text, sometimes you are in contact with the companies and things like that, and sometimes you are developing the bachelor's degree. So so every day is totally different, and that's nice. That's what I love. It's very creative work, but still very disciplined work as well. So
the way you're phrasing that right now, I'm just wondering, do you get any sleep?
Quite nicely. Yeah. So no problems with that.
So that's like the magical Finnish work-life balance.
Yeah, that's what you have to do. You have to sleep and eat and repeat that one.
and the sauna in between.
And sauna, yeah, sometimes. Yeah, exactly. That's Finnish life.
So how long have you been at JYU? Like, what even brought you here?
I started as an assistant 23 years ago already, and I've been in different positions. I was a little bit time outside Jyväskylä University as well, but that was my first working contract at the business school, and I became an assistant who was like assisting on different kinds of issues, and then I worked in different positions throughout the years. So quite a long time. I came actually at 1990s to Jyväskylä as a student.
So you're an alumnus.
Yeah, I'm one of those. So yeah. So that's briefly my story, so to say.
Oh, but that's cool. But you're not originally from here, are you?
No, I'm not originally from here. So I'm from southern eastern Finland, from Kouvola region.
Oh, I'm trying to visualize that in my head right now. Southeast.
Yeah, southeast. Yeah, it's from Helsinki to east. Yeah.
Okay, and anywhere close to Lappeenranta or?
Yeah, closer to Lappeenranta than to Helsinki. Yeah.
Oh, okay. The kind of fun thing is right now, I think with you, we've basically had every side of Finland so far on the podcast because we've had somebody recently from Rovaniemi, we've had somebody from Pietarsaari, we haven't had anybody from Helsinki. So from that region,
that's the next one that you have to yeah.
I need to leave that as a mental note.
Yeah.
So what was it like to, be a student here and then come back here?
I really loved that one, and that's might be one of those reasons that I stayed here, and I also started work here. Of course, there was funding available, and and supervision available. So I started my PhD studies on 2001. So that was the starting point. And of course, if you do this kind of a business that you work at the university, you have to love teaching and you have to love reading and writing. And I think those are my only competencies that I got. So I have to commercialize those ones. So I loved Finnish high school. I loved matriculation, examination, everything like that. So it was obvious that I started to study here and I came here. So.
Oh, so that's why it's one of the requirements for the new bachelor's program, because you like the matriculation exams. That's why they're the requirement.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, that's why it's.
That's how much power you have on the decision-making process.
Yes, yeah.
We're gonna walk to that relatively soon, but kind of what I'm curious about is, since you both teach and do research, how much do you feel that doing both of those things is essential to be a good educator?
I think they have a lot of synergy, of course, between each other, and at the university it's very important nowadays, and it has been always important to publish and to conduct research, and that's influencing to your teaching very much and renewing the content of the teaching as well in many ways, because of course we are offering the latest knowledge on the field, and you cannot do that one if you don't conduct research. And of course, part of the job is thesis supervision, as always. So when you're supervising thesis, it's very important that you know about the methodology and you know about how to conduct the research. So logically, they are very interconnected, and there's lots of synergy between those ones. So.
When I was kind of like checking out a little bit your CV, I saw that you were active in a bunch of different fields of research, also involved with the Academy of Finland, did a little bit of cooperation with Aalto University. What is something that you're most actively researching right now?
Everything, actually, what you saw there in the CV. So I don't recommend that one. Actually, nowadays, if you think about business school, it's very clever to focus and to create your publications and publish on the field that you have chosen. But I don't know, I've always loved the fact that I can study business history from the perspective of family businesses and entrepreneurs. Then I can study entrepreneurship education from the modern perspectives of engineering students, for example, and that kinds of things. And then I can study business elite and its formation in Finland and executive education. And one might say that, okay, that's quite a lot for one person, but I don't do it by myself. I do that in teams. And by teams, I mean my colleagues who are working with me. So I'm not able to publish just by myself, but it's absolutely collaboration. And of course, if you think about the review processes and all the comments and feedback you got from the senior colleagues, it's very important to develop also your manuscripts based on them. So
yeah, you kind of function in this. What's the word? Yeah, I mean, I think you said it before, like this synergistic relationship. You mentioned that there's that synergy between teaching and research. There's the synergy between educators and students, and then within all of you researchers at the business school, there's that level of synergy and support and kind of like continuing to progress.
Absolutely. And for example, if you think about the current trends, artificial intelligence is influencing very much on education and on learning among the students, but it's also influencing the research and how we are conducting research nowadays. And that's a typical example of a topic in which we are now, how do I say, we educate ourselves about that topic and we spread good practices on that one. There will be a research development day quite soon in which there are possibilities for that one, just to mention an example of a topic.
Yeah. So kind of now that we're delving a little bit into education, let's start off with the thing which is the main reason why you're here today. Right now, JYU has its first, as far as I know, bachelor's degree program in English.
Yeah.
And you can correct me if I'm wrong. Business innovation and sustainability.
Exactly. You got it right.
I always got to double check with the programs. The names get creative and sometimes they're like changing around. So I'm like, okay. Kind of what I'm curious about, how direct was your involvement with the development of the program? Where did this idea even come from?
I think I'm just one of the group. I'm one member in the group. And of course, my role at the moment is to be a coordinator and that kind of a person who communicates between different professors and different lectures. and there's a team of people, a large team of people who have influence on the program and its contents, and not just at the business school, but also we have an excellent language and communication. I think this whole business innovation and sustainability program is why we want to start that one. I think it's actually answering for the modern problems of the society, like climate change and sustainable innovations and circular economies and recycling, and you name it. There are so many things happening at the modern society that we need definitely education on that one. And it's offering also employment opportunities for young people and for our students in the future, and that's why we want to really put emphasis on that one. I must also admit that in the business school we don't start from the zero anyhow with this program. Sustainability and sustainable business are at the moment and have been our core competencies politically. So there have been, of course, professors and research groups who have been devoted for this issue for a long time, which is very, very important for the program. And this means that we have excellent experienced teachers also for the courses, which is very nice. So there are nicely resources also available for this program. So this is really organizational effort by the business school and all the stakeholders which I mentioned earlier.
So kind of like you already mentioned that in the involvement with the creation of the program, there were a bunch of, different faculty members and whatever. I'm wondering, was there any student input when you were kind of coming up with the curriculum and the basic ideas?
And there's always, and we are of course talking with the students as well of the business school to develop our courses. And we have also done so that we of course annually and when every course takes place, we are collecting feedback concerning the teaching and the courses, and that's a very good way to get new ideas as well. And I think the student influence into this program is very, very impactful and very huge actually in that sense that we have followed also the student feedback and try to develop that kind of teaching and programs which answer on the modern challenges and also create opportunities for the future. And I think this kind of business innovation and sustainability offers logically that kind of possibilities. And what is nice actually that, okay, this is a bachelor's degree program, but this offers also in the future this 3+2 program. So actually you get automatically a student position at the master's degree program, which is excellent because if you think about Finland and the Finnish society, having a master's degree in the business school is great. It's a great advantage and asset for you. So being a bachelor is something that is okay, but being a master's is even more. And I'm very proud of that one, that we can offer to these people who have been selected. We are selecting 30 students actually for this program. We can offer both a bachelor's degree and a master's degree in the same package automatically, which is excellent. And they can also choose between different topics, If you think about master's degree programs, we have a corporate environmental management available, international business and entrepreneurship, marketing and corporate communication, and then the fourth one is responsible management and business of sport program. So this is also nice. You can select between different kind of programs after the bachelor degree and continue directly without any break at the master degree level. And all the courses are in English, of course, in this both levels at the bachelor and master's degree level.
So quick two things, kind of like one as a logical sanity check and one kind of curiosity. Is the international banking and finance program also included in that package, or is that like separate if you want to do the 3+2?
That's a separate. So
okay.
At the moment it's not included in the package, and that's how it goes.
But right now with this, and this sounds actually really clever and nice. So basically a student can just select, they get selected into the program, they do those first 3 years, and then I guess at the end of the third year, maybe like when they're wrapping up their thesis or whatever, they can just decide where they naturally continue.
Absolutely, and in the optional studies of the bachelor degree, you can already focus on a certain topics like marketing and corporate communication, for example. There's a package available for those students who want to apply to that program. So that gives you nicely that kind of a information and knowledge already about the content, and you don't have to like choose something without knowing what's it all about. So I think that's also a very good advantage in many ways. So.
Okay. But just like students can basically just automatically continue, no need like for like additional million pieces of paperwork, or
it's automatically so they have a student right to study at the master's degree level, and of course that will take place now first time in 3 years in 2027. So we don't have yet
the procedure.
formal procedure and formal decisions. How do students select themselves? Are there some quotas? Is it about credits and the performance of the students that the best can select first the programs? I don't know that. So that will take place in the future. But what I can guarantee that every one of them will have a
opportunity
student position at the master's degree level also when they are accepted the bachelor degree program.
But that's actually really great, especially if you're an international student and you want to make a commitment long-term towards Finland.
Yeah, that's right.
Which is something that I kind of looked a little bit through your guys' curriculum, and you mentioned it somewhat right now. So I think it's separated into like 4 pieces. There's one basic business studies, one that is intermediate business studies in business sustainability and innovation. Then it's 50 optional credits, which is a lot. That's like almost a third of a degree.
Yeah.
That's impressive.
Yeah.
And then it's 30 language credits, 16 in Finnish and 14 in English. If you're an international student, if you're a local student, then you do a little bit of Swedish and some other languages.
Exactly.
I think I got it roughly correctly.
Yeah.
And I kind of found it very cool with the design of the program. The way it sounds to me is, for instance, it's 5 years, essentially. And you're kind of like focusing on the ability to give students this opportunity to do as much Finnish as humanly possible. It really feels like you're doing your best to prepare the international students who end up applying to this program to integrate well, not just into the Finnish business society, but into the society in general.
Yes, absolutely. And we want to offer this opportunity for these students who are selected for the program. And of course, in any European Union country, it's valuable asset to have a language skills with the local language, and that helps so much your employment and social capital and networking and hobbies and everything like that. And it seems to be one of those assets that we sometimes forget, that it's quite important also to have that language asset which opens all the doors, and we want to absolutely support with these ones, with this issue, students, and help with this issue as much as we can.
So speaking actually about employment and language skills and language development, something that I saw that the program advertises is that students will be given an opportunity to have trainees in different companies in Finland, and that the program has developed relationships with different companies. Are there any particular companies that the program already has relationships with, and in what way will, I guess you now as the program coordinator, support the students in building those connections?
Yeah, we do have a connections which are of course ready-made in that sense, that in business school we have offered traineeships now for the students quite a long time, and that enables that kind of if not traditions, maybe that kind of networks which enable them to employ in locally here in Jyväskylä or then in Helsinki area. And now, of course, the step is a little bit forward when we talk about international students, and of course there are always possibilities to offer for these people also training positions, and in this case that will take place also on 2026, maybe 2027, depending on the case. And of course, there's a possibility always to do a thesis at that kind of training positions together. And forest industry companies locally in here, like in Äänekoski and in here Valtra, for example, are good examples of Valmet cooperation as well. Good examples, that kind of large companies which have been very active with us. But there are also many others for sure, because business school have been active and in operation already for years, and business and economics have been taught for decades in Jyväskylä as well. So there are lots of that kind of networks, and what we also want to support are summer jobs and the fact that students, if they wish and if they like, it's really good for their career to make also summer jobs and that kind of trainee positions at the local companies as well. And S Group and Kesko are of course really large players in this field as well. And if you think about our field of business science, one might say that Jyväskylä region is very important, but so is Tampere and Helsinki regions as well, because in those ones there are lots of employers and lots of activity going on. So when looking for summer jobs, you have to absolutely also keep in mind these larger cities as well, just like Turku and Oulu and places like that.
Yeah, keep in mind the entire country.
Yeah, exactly, entire country. Yeah.
But this is kind of very useful for all the students that come in, because as you kind of mentioned, the business school has a lot of these different connections, and you can utilize all of them and give people as many of these opportunities as possible. So something that I find very interesting about this program, and I genuinely think that you guys have a golden opportunity here. The design of all of the international master's degree programs is that both Finnish and international students can apply. But rule of thumb is it's mostly international students applying. This program, as far as I know, there isn't like a Finnish parallel to it. It's just kind of like its own original thing. Correct me if I'm wrong, right? So it's this own individual original thing in English. And it seems that you guys really have a golden opportunity to have both Finnish students and international students integrating together and studying together. So have you guys thought about how to make that effectively possible?
Oh yeah, that's a very good question, and I think in every class and in every course we are absolutely aiming for that one, that there could be integration, and there could be also that kind of possibilities to learn from each other. And I think it's about didactics, how you organize those classrooms and what kind of exercises do you conduct with the students. And I can say that of course there are lots of teamworks and pair works as well. And I think those are quite traditional and very logic way also to increase that kind of a collaboration between the different kinds of students. Yeah.
But more of this is great on the classroom level, where you're kind of giving them a systematic opportunity to work with each other. But outside of the classroom, I'm wondering, are you planning to have a special tutoring system maybe separate from the current one developed, or is it going to be something that's you as the coordinator organize? Is it going to be together with the student union? Is there a vision for that?
Yes, there will be student union most probably incorporated with this development as well. And then of course we have a very good tutoring systems existing for the students, thanks to the master degree programs as well, because we have got these international programs. So that gives us some kind of knowledge on what are the typical questions when people are entering the country. And I think the personal study plan processes are also excellent way to show very in details for each student what do you need to study so that you graduate, and on what is your timetable like and what you should do next, kind of a roadmap for that one. So we have this kind of techniques which are very, very functional. And like always, when we start something, we are also doing R&D at the same time. So of course we are ready for the first cohort and for the first program to start on September 2025. So in 1 year. Our recruiting takes place, by the way, on January. So 8th of January is the date when the submissions are
open,
possible and open. Yeah, possible to make. So that will be quite soon, and the courses will start on September 25. So we are ready for that one. But of course, I must say that it's always about R&D. So we are developing the program and we collect experiences at the same time. And if we see that now there's something wrong, we need to put more resources on that one, then of course we will do so definitely. And I think through this program we will get more and more international tutoring groups, more and more internationalization to student union as well, and that kind of activities which are now taking place Probably mostly in Finnish, and of course there will be more international context and setting, which is logic for nowadays world and for nowadays economy and businesses. So I think we offer really great opportunities for any students for networking and for collaboration.
See, I'm kind of connecting this with like one of the sentences that comes up as the description for the program, creating new knowledge. And this is exactly what you guys are doing, creating new knowledge about the tutoring system, creating new knowledge about integration, creating new knowledge, probably also about learning the language and whatever.
Absolutely, yeah.
So let's add a little bit of knowledge to, this package. You already mentioned that the application process begins January 8th and finishes January 22nd.
Exactly,
2025.
Yeah.
So can you just walk us through very quickly through the application procedure?
I must say that you can watch the details through our website, and there are lots of details on what kind of materials, what is actually needed, so that we can say that you are prepared for the higher education, that you are eligible to apply for the program, and what kind of language tests are needed. For example, if you take the Finnish matriculation examination, you need to have a magna cum laude approbatur from the English language as a grade, and if you have some other degree, then some other types of language tests are needed, and so you can check those details from our website. They are now open, and the student selection criteria is openly told. What kind of points do you get with one, what degree, so to say. So the more early you prepare for the submission process, the better, because it might be so that you have to take some language test, for example, and that takes a little bit time. So don't start that on January. You can start it already right now at the September, October, to collect all the documents for yourself, and of course we are looking for good motivated students for the first group of 30 students in this case. People who want to develop their argumentation skills and communication skills, people who are interested about business innovations and sustainability, and people who want to develop also their skills in international environment is very much appreciated as well. So that's the whole process briefly.
I'm going to slightly expand on that, just because there was something that I was reading about this morning from Study Info, which we're gonna link it in the program notes so that everybody can just directly go into it and read about it. There are those like 3 stages of the application round, or I guess there are 3 different procedures for the admissions round, and one of them is especially relevant for international students because it basically boils down to doing the SAT. And I guess that's one of the important reasons why you really got to start this early, because different times to do the SAT.
Yeah.
And this is kind of like my interpretation when I looked at the criteria for international students. It's very similar to things that you would see in the States for like requirements, I don't know, for like a state school in the States, for example, with the SAT and everything. And to me, this is sending the message of we're looking for students who are passionate, who are not necessarily already formed, but who have the ability to grow and, take this leap of faith. That's kind of the way that I'm reading it.
Absolutely.
And something that I find kind of amazing is, so there is a scholarship, right?
Yeah, that's also available for some of the students, yes.
Yeah, I think it's like a 50% scholarship if you get accepted or whatever. Again, details are on Study Info. But kind of the cool thing that I thought about, and this is just my perspective as somebody who lived in the States for a little bit, essentially for a year of tuition on average in an in-state school in the States, you could get 2 years of tuition plus life plus housing plus healthcare here.
Yeah, that's true. It's much more inexpensive, in comparison. Yeah, that's right. That's one of those advantages, I think, and one of those things that you have to also consider as a reality when you're applying. Yeah.
But I think it's a cool thing, if you're a high school student in the States by chance and you're looking for an extra place to send your SAT results,
right.
We're the perfect place.
Yeah, good point. Yeah.
Do you have any concerns related to, the first year of the program and the entire process or whatever?
I would say that, of course, we are very much influenced with the quality criteria that we are following as a business school, JSBE and AMBA and BGA that we have at the Jyväskylä University School of Business and Economics at the moment. And we are very happy about that one. It's really fantastic to have those quality criteria, and it's hard work to get them for sure. So that also shows how motivated and committed our faculty and all the professors and all the research groups are at the moment, and that's very positive. And why I'm talking about this is influencing also, of course, on our programs and how we're developing those ones, because we are following those quality criteria and they are, I would say, global in that sense that nowadays AACSB is that kind of a quality criteria that existing, of course, in USA as well, and that might explain the similarities between those universities and ours. And this enables also, in a very positive way, to do comparisons between business schools of the universities when the criteria are more or less the same. Of course, being European business school is always a bit different than being an American business school. So there are differences for sure because of the society and all those things that you mentioned related to expenses, for example. So there are always differences, but I think this is a very competitive business school, and our program is very competitive as well and of high quality, which creates a situation that I'm not worried about anything at the moment, but I'm more like excited about the fact that we are going to have the bachelor's degree program. This is the first one at the whole university, the first one at the business school at the moment in Jyväskylä. And if you think that this kind of a old, well-established, traditional university like Jyväskylä is starting something new, it's always exciting. And what I also love, in the matter of fact, is that this is really a team effort and this is organizational effort. So my role is just to communicate and being a coordinator in this program, but thanks to tens of committed people, it's possible, and thanks to the many disciplines, it's possible to have this kind of program.
I gotta say, I really appreciate, this viewpoint of just like it being a collective effort, all of you guys essentially being pioneers here, and you sharing this enthusiasm and hope for the program. So on that note, to kind of wrap it up, I want to ask you, imagine the student who somehow accidentally found the website of JYU, found this program. What is the message that you have for that student?
Our message is that there's lots of information available, and we have very carefully selected what kind of information we are putting there. And of course, it's a very valid information for you as a student. And of course, I'm always encouraging you to contact also us if there are any questions or anything. We're happy to help you and happy to communicate also with you. So if needed, there's always a possibility to ask more.
There's always somebody there.
There's always somebody there, yeah, for sure.
Well, on that note, I really want to thank you for your time. I really appreciate it. I'm deeply honestly looking forward to seeing the first students next year and seeing the program evolve and develop. You guys, thank you very much for listening to us today. I really hope that you're going to check out a little bit more information about the Business Innovation and Sustainability Program. Always double checking if I remember it correctly. If you're interested in different stories and more stories from JYU, always feel free to check out our podcast, JYU for You. And we hope you're going to have an awesome day. Kiitos ja moikka. Cheers.